Hey everybody, so today we're going to be talking about volume. If you look up here, you can see that you have your area and volume formulas. We're mostly just going to be focusing on these ones over here, our volume formulas, and I'm just going to go through a few examples with you. So for this first one, it says find the volume of the figure below, and we have a rectangular prism. So I'm going to look over at my volume formulas, and I'm going to see what that is. So our formula for a rectangular prism is V equals capital B H. This capital B means the area of the base. So what that really means for us is that the volume is actually just going to be length times width, because that's what our base is since it's a rectangle, times height. So I'm going to identify the length, width, and height for this rectangular prism. And it looks like our length over here is equal to 4 inches. Our width is 9. And our height is also 4 inches. And so we're just going to multiply. So I'm going to say volume equals, instead of length, I'm going to write 4. Instead of width, I'm going to write 9. And instead of height, we're going to write 4. And then we just multiply. So 4 times 9 times 4 is 144. And our units are inches cubed. Anytime we're looking at volume, we're going to be dealing with cubic inches or cubic units. So that's how you find the volume for a rectangular prism. We might also have something that looks like this second one here, for example, 2. This is a cylinder. So I'm going to look and see what is the volume for a cylinder. And it looks like V is equal to pi r squared times our height. So pi is just a number. It's usually going to be, usually you'll just use 3.14 for it. It's a very, very long number. It goes on forever. You can use 3.14. You can also leave things just with pi. So you can leave the pi in. R is the radius. So if I'm thinking about a circle, all the way across is the diameter. Halfway across is our radius. And then H is our height. So I'm going to identify the radius here. All the way across is our diameter, so that's going to be 14. We just want the radius, though. We want halfway across. That's going to be half of 14, which is 7. And the height they've given us is going to be 10. And then we are just substituting those into our formula. So we've got pi, instead of r, we're going to write 7. So 7 squared instead of r squared times our height, which was 10. And now we just solve. So I'm going to leave that pi. 7 squared is 49 times 10. 49 times 10 is 490 pi. So I could leave it like this and just put in my units, cubic centimeters, or I can actually put that into the calculator. There are 2 ways to put it in your calculator. There is a pi button on most calculators. You can also just use 3.14, which is what I'm going to do because I'm feeling lazy. And we get 1,538.6 cubic centimeters. So both of those answers are correct and fine. For our third example, we have a pyramid. Again, I'm just looking to see what my formula is, and it looks like V equals 1/3 capital B H. And again, that capital B means area of the base. So in this case, our base is a square. I'm going to find the area of this square, which is just 16 times 16. So 256. Probably double check myself. Yep. And then we're going to multiply that by our height. And the height they've given us is 24. So we're going to do 1/3 times 256 times our height, which is 24. And 1/3, 256 times 24 is equal to 6,144. And then we're going to multiply that by 1/3. When you're multiplying by a third, you're really multiplying by the numerator 1, and then you're going to divide by the denominator, which in this case is 3. So we're going to do 6,144 divided by 3, get 2,048. And I don't have any units, so I'm just going to write units cubed, done. And last but not least, we have a sphere. So I'm going to look and see. Volume is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Our radius is 2.2, so they've given it to us in this case because it's just going halfway across. So I'm going to write volume is equal to 4/3 pi, and then instead of r, we're going to write 2.2 cubed. You should have an X to the Y button on your calculator. If you're using your phone, you just need to turn it sideways, make sure that it is unlocked. So we're going to do 2.2 X to the Y. And the button looks like that. If you're using a regular calculator, you might see a button that looks like that, like a little caret. Both work. Cube. So when you cube it, you should get 10.648. And then again, we're multiplying by the numerator and dividing by the denominator. So I'm going to take this number, I'm going to multiply by 4, and then divide by 3. So our volume is going to be equal to 14.19. So it's going to be 14.2 pi centimeters cubed. You can also multiply it by 3.14, in which case you would get 44.6 cubic centimeters. All right, that is pretty much it for volume. I will see you next time. Bye.